feel so liberated, and thank God for the blessings that I have demonstrated. Without the demon in my life before he penetrated, cause yes, I found another way, and now I'm situated.
Ready to chop it up. And, today we're gonna get our topic in. And we're gonna talk about the missing fathers in action.
Don't do it right. You know, I know I wasn't married.
I want to really get into the cats that put the mind frame in, what they're willing to do to feed their family and putting their freedom in jeopardy. That from that perspective.
Well, you know, if a man feels like to be a man, it's based on what he can materially bring to his household. And if the resources are not available for him to have or he doesn't perceive the resources available for him to be able to provide for his household, he should make some poor choices. Right or wrong, if he sees that being on the corner is a way to provide, he sees that being...
You have to consider the situation. You have to consider the source of why this guy is not in his kids or in his family's life. Because, I mean, you know, a lot of times you have situations where the mother herself, she's dealing with some issues that you and her had, her and the male had. And that like pushes the father away, basically keeping him out the picture, making it look like abandonment, but it's really not abandonment. Got the courts controlling when, how, and where you can see your child. A force out, basically. So a lot of times when they put this abandonment title on men, that's not always the case. You got stand-up guys that really want it and looking to do their part in the kid's life, but you have the mother. She has another agenda on how she wants to raise this kid, or how she wants this kid to be raised. So as far as the abandonment goes, they can take the abandonment and just get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of it. Because you have, like I said, you have a lot of people out there that wants to and are willing to be a part of the kid's life, and they're not able to due to the fact the parent, the mom, the mother got another agenda. So that's my take on that abandonment thing you're talking about.
All right. So let's talk about domestic violence.
You know, minimize the time you're exposed to a toxic situation. Get as far away from the situation as you can, and you put some buffers in between you and the situation, and then minimize your risk of being exposed to a toxic situation. So I try to remember that, you know, we're dealing with people. Time is chilling. Love someone, but sometimes you gotta be the heck away from them. Like, you know what? I need to calm down, I need to step back, walk around the corner, whatever I need to do to calm it, you know, to keep control of my faculties.
Yeah. No, you want to change that.
Talk about it. Besides the ignorance.
But you mentioned some key point. Whose responsibility is it to impart these values, these lessons onto our children? And I say it always boils down to us. You look at the Hispanics, Jewish, you know, any society, any ethnic group, it's the responsibility of the men and the women.
So now let's talk about that Lil Wayne incident and all that controversy.
Lil Wayne, you know, I guess we'll preface the back of it. Known as a remix, I guess, what we call EP, with the guy Future does this cut, Karate Chop, and he states that he'll beat the P up like EMMITT Till. You know what? I fault Lil Wayne, but I fault us as a society, and I'm saying us as black folks, for not making those under us. I'm 40 years old, so those not in their 20s and teenagers not understand the importance of EMMITT Till. How this young man did nothing, didn't violate anybody, but the fact that he was bodacious enough to whistle outside of his place caused him to lose his life. You know, the fact, you know, and that's what those who did that violence against him say. You know, how dare he step outside of himself to whistle at a white man, and this is what we did to him. This is what he deserved. Their actions in their minds were justified, and the fact that our youth didn't understand that you know, forget what's going on with Trayvon Martin, but if you can't see a parallel to that, we talked about earlier, if you can't see a parallel to what happened to EMMITT Till and what happened to Trayvon, him being someplace where somebody perceived him he shouldn't be, and that he lost his life for that. So there's a disconnect in the reality and our history that we're failing to teach them. For Lil Wayne to be able to come out of his mouth and say that, and not see that there was something wrong with that, it's our fault. So that's my view on that.
I think, again, for the education of our black people, so a lot of people don't even know what's taking place. You know, especially young people, they're pretty much desensitized to everything. They don't feel nothing but fashion, and the latest whatever's in style, the latest form of hypnosis that they into. Now that's the thing, he didn't mean to. I as a person think he didn't mean any harm by it. He just, he was just trying to rhyme and trying to, create a picture of what he was doing. So beating something like EMMITT Till.
In that society, to impart to their children the values. The Jewish, would not have an American, a straight or German telling their kids about the Holocaust. That ain't gonna happen. So when it comes to our struggle, what led us to be quote unquote free, it's our responsibility to teach our kids this. And we're failing on this. And we're saying that we're failing because
disconnected to the pain of our people. We see stuff, we see pain, we see murder in the street, we got desensitized to everything.
Yeah.
Besides the ignorance. Think about it.
How about that? That's profound.
Yeah.
Have aspirations, be an inspiration. It's what you make it. Congratulations, we are God's creation. You could be happy if you wanna be, or you could be mad at the world. It's all a choice when you're living your life, right? Whether you boy or girl. As dreams become reality, just picture this big old world. And on the Senate, and I'm sure you'll see what God meant for you to be. You can be